You know, the moment when the person who holds your secrets becomes the one who hurts you the deepest. When did you realize you keep returning to stories because they actually see you? Some of these are tearjerkers for me because they've hit belonging I don't always feel. Tonight, I want to share with you 5 bonds that taught me how to keep my heart without trading myself away. Starting off with the first one, and our first duo is actually Gon and Killua from Hunter x Hunter. This is when saving someone means walking away. So, what I mean by that is, we've all been Killua at some point. You know, that friend who tries to save somebody hell-bent on falling apart. When someone you love burns everything down and you still want to reach for them. Killua loves Gon like a brother. Practically, he's family. But there comes a point where he has to walk out of Gon's story. When he sees Gon turning into something he doesn't recognize during the Chimera Ant arc, people around Gon are dying. And then Gon going completely off the rails, Killua knows he can't stop it. He wanted to be there for Gon, but he knew there was a few things he could have done. And I've had my own Killua moments, looking at the person I loved and knowing I couldn't do anything. I had to walk away and let their story play out, and hope they return to me whole. Sometimes love will let you play the villain. Sometimes the person who leaves is the one who finally saw the whole picture. Loyalty means knowing when your presence is more poison. So when Killua leaves, love has ran out of options. And that scene of Killua leaving is the moment when saving someone means letting them blame you. Next up on the list, we have Shoya and Shoko from A Silent Voice, The Weight of What We've Done. When regret becomes the only thing keeping you alive, Shoya was the bully, Shoko was the victim. 6 years later, he's on a bridge, swallowed by what he did to Shoko. I was never a bully, but I've made choices that really define how I look at certain situations. The guilt did weigh on me, especially with the passing of my grandfather. Here's the thing. Shoko doesn't hate him. She apologizes to him and thanks him even after what he did to her hearing aids, because all she wants is to be friends. Even with the person who made her life hell. Both of them are so deep inside that darkness that they can barely see each other, let alone any light. The person who was hurting, Shoko, she forgave him and said, "It's okay, I just want somebody to be there for me." This story centers around 2 broken people learning that living means carrying the weight without letting it crush you. Shoya learned sign language because it's the only way forward. Some pain doesn't go away. Sometimes you just have to learn to walk with it. And that's okay. Next one up is a classic, and if you've been around, just watching anime, you already know this one, and that's Fullmetal Alchemist. And the duo here is actually Edward and Alphonse. And how I would basically phrase this is when love becomes a prison, this is what it looks like. When you refuse to let go, even if holding on breaks you both. Edward and Alphonse lose everything that matters and decides to fix it themselves. 2 brothers set on a mission to find the Philosopher's Stone, especially after a tragic event happened in their lives where their mother passed away. No pause, no grief, just action. And Ed gives up his leg. Al loses his whole body. And they spend the entire story trying to undo that basically one thing. And every move is, I'll pay the price for you no matter what it costs. And it's something that I had to reflect on, because this one is one of the things that hurts me the most. I would do so much for people, I would sit here and I would give them whatever they needed. Arm, leg, it doesn't matter. And, when I really needed somebody to show up in my life with presence, not, memes or, funny things, but just, sit beside me and just sit in some of the pain and grief that I was going through, I either got silence or I got, things that really just didn't matter in the moment, and it wasn't what I needed. And while I do know that they tried their best, ultimately it came down to just not really being emotionally mature enough to see that I needed just presence. But, going back to Edward and Alphonse here, basically it was a cycle of pain that was passed back and forth. It was really never fully resolved. And, sometimes you love somebody so much you can't see when you're the reason they're still bleeding. The alchemy, trading pain for hope, only keeps them locked together. And love becomes its own prison. And that's a real question Brotherhood asks. Can you carry someone's story, save them, or does it just trap you both? Fourth on the list is Naruto and Sasuke from Naruto Shippuden. The mirror that shows you wounds. And what I mean by that is that we all have that one friend who can save you or wreck basically everything you built. And honestly, speaking truthfully, we've been both. The friend who could save someone, but also the friend who made bad decisions and probably just crashed out. Naruto's fighting for someone's well-being, wants to be there for Sasuke like a brother. He's also trying to save himself. Think about this. Sasuke is pushing away every hand because pain honestly feels safer than hope at this point. The deeper wound is that Sasuke loses everything at home. Love gets twisted into a curse, and he learns that the people who stay forever are the ones who leave the deepest marks. Naruto grew up alone, hungry for a bond that feels unbreakable. So when he sees Sasuke's pain, he doesn't question it. He throws himself into the fire no matter what. And reflecting on this myself, I've been trying to save some of the people closest to me. That became hard, and I would wound up creating more wounds only for myself. That Valley of the End fight, when Naruto was screaming, "Why can't you see how much I'm trying to save you?" Sasuke screams back, "I never needed you to save me." Naruto's whole rescue mission is about himself just as much as Sasuke. He wants proof that broken people can be loved back to wholeness. Sasuke is deeply hurt and trying to turn that pain into armor. They call it love, but love can drag you into codependency. It can bind you to someone else's damage until you forget who you were before them. And some friendships never really learn to get steady. They just hold each other through the ache. And last but not least, this one's a classic, and I want to talk about Cowboy Bebop, and two people in particular, Spike and Jet Li. And this is love that doesn't need to really hold on. The kind that happens in silence. No speeches, no big friendship declarations, no demands, just absolute presence. Cowboy Bebop just gets it right. Sometimes real connection is two broken people sharing space without needing to say it out loud. Spike and Jet choose each other by just being there day after day, choosing again without saying the words. Jet knows Spike is haunted. He knows the ending is coming. He doesn't beg, he doesn't even guilt, he just lets Spike be. In my personal life, I haven't had too many people that just let me be. But despite what I feel about certain situations, I let them be because I know everybody's different. So when Spike walks into his fate, shit just lets him go. He lets the story finish even knowing it'll hurt. This is what I call love that honors someone's path, even if it leaves you behind. And watching someone leave is honestly never easy, but there's no drama here. Just acceptance that sometimes love is stepping back and letting someone write their own ending. The light at the end, these anime don't sugarcoat, but they show us what love looks like when you're bleeding. When you're tired and got nothing left but the decisions to stay present in the current situation. I kind of think of them like maps for how we really love. These stories shape millions, and me included. I keep choosing their comfort over my own. We also have to conclude that not every connection in our lives is going to get us steady. Some friendships hold each other through the ache. The light at the end of the tunnel is about learning that you can keep walking even when you can't see where you're going. Your love is still real and your attempts still matter. But the pain means you showed up, and to me, that's what counts. So keep showing up and keep caring. And if this video touched you and you got this far, consider leaving a like and subscribing. It helps the channel grow, and even giving a hype, because this new YouTube hype feature can support the channel in amazing ways. And I want you to know that you can keep letting yourself feel. So, which duo taught you a boundary that you didn't want to learn? Let me know down in the comments below, and until next time, be safe and be blessed. Peace.